Hi Tides, we hope you had a great start to March.
With the end of February came the end of the Oscar season, and there's been a lot to report from the show.
The fashion in the shows definitely stood out this year.
You know, they call me a ranch because I be dressing.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that and transition into the piece.
Hey sisters, it's Oz and welcome to your Oscar fashion recap. Listen, we've got some interesting looks to say the least at this event, but I wanted to go over a few looks that I loved, a few I hated, and some that just deserve more screen time. First, we have to start with the walking disco ball herself, J-Lo, who is, by the way, 49 years old. I don't know how she still looks like that. She's a witch. But she's wearing Tom Ford, and I'm gonna be honest, in most cases, I really wouldn't like this look, but she low-key snapped. The prism, mirror-like fabric, and the chrome clutch that she carried throughout the night, in contrast with her warm skin tone, really looked beautiful to me, top-notch. Next, although it kills me to say, we have a flop. Charlize Theron in her Dior Haute Couture baby blue dress. Listen, I'm all for a braless dress, but I don't know, this super thin fabric and her dyed brown hair really did not do it for me. However, she did wear Bulgari jewelry, and the necklace, which was a diamond-studded snake biting its own tail, was beautiful, I thought. Let's address the elephant in the room, sis. F***ing Billy Porter. Wow. Let me firstly say that I am the first to call out every man during award season who walks in Prada, Tom Ford, or whatever black tux or suit he wants to put on. My man Billy Porter came in wearing a custom Christian Serrano velvet tuxedo gown that stunned everyone. To say the least, Porter really made a statement in bringing over the androgyny of haute couture to the red carpet, which we always seem to leave on the runway. To mention a few more, we have Angela Bassett, who is 60 years old, I don't know how these people are looking this young, wearing custom Reem Accra, not gagging for it, but I don't know, the pink and the huge shoulder, it's lost its wow for me. Next is Gaga. Listen, if there were 100 people in a room and one believed in her, it would be me, Gaga. Wearing Alexander McQueen, she has sculpted herself some new hips, and to be honest, I really love it. It's sleek, and it's really cool chic design, something definitely I miss from Gaga instead of a However, I may be biased because McQueen is one of my favorite designers, but whatever. I know I low-key dragged men's fashion before, but I have to give it to my future husband, Chadwick Boseman, because wow, his wide-legged black pants with sequin train, which he paired with a sequin blazer, it was awesome. It was something super refreshing to see one of the guys, not necessarily taking a more androgynous look, but still a very masculine look, with a scarf dragging. It was beautiful, and it definitely matched his good taste that he always keeps up during award season. Alright sisters, that was my Oscar fashion recap, and let's get on with Patreon news.
Oscar fashion is certainly something else though. At times, Hollywood could seem like a world of its own though.
It is not too far from our own world though, as the Miami Film Festival is reaching our community soon. Let's check it out.
Miami Film Festival debuted in February 1984 under the auspices of the Society of Miami. It was founded by Nat Chedak and Stephen Bowies, and directed by Mr. Chedak for its first 18 years, becoming the city's premier international cultural event. The Miami Beach Film Festival provides an innovative perspective to connect modern independent filmmakers, songwriters, and screenwriters with a unique audience. They have a live screening festival featuring a red carpet reception in beautiful Miami Beach, Florida. Film festival attendees enjoy warm beaches and exciting nightlife. We encourage independent filmmakers, screenwriters, and songwriters to submit, as our festival highlights creativity and unique vision. We also encourage students to submit, as the Miami Beach Film Festival offers students an opportunity to gain experience as well as recognition. On the final night of the festival, we hold an awards gala, which includes official section nominee awards, screenplay nominee awards, and online nominee awards. Miami-Dade College Miami Film Festival closed its open submission process for its 36th annual edition, March 1 through 10, 2019. Miami film students wishing to enter a project should visit.
Movie season isn't the only thing that's coming to a close though. Black History Month is also wrapping up.
To commemorate an important group of people and their contributions toward the history of this nation, let's have a look.
Hey High Tides! February is Black History Month. Many U.S. institutions join in paying tribute to the generations of African Americans who struggled with the adversity to achieve full citizenship in American society. Dr. Carter G. Woodson launched Negro History Week as an initiative to bring national attention to the contributions of black people throughout American history in 1926. He was born to former slaves, but he surprisingly graduated Harvard with a PhD.
That the greatness of America is the right to protest far right.
He was disturbed to find in his studies that history books largely ignored the black American population. And when black people did figure into the picture, it was generally in ways that reflected the inferior social position they were assigned to at the time. Woodson chose the second month of February because it marks the birthdays of two men who greatly influenced the black American population, Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. However, now the whole month of February is known to commemorate the African American population.
Some of the most notable contributors of our nation's history include the inventors and innovators we've seen throughout the years.
In celebrating Black History Month, we're also going to celebrate the great African American inventors.
I'm looking at you, George Washington Carver.
A lot of people don't know that black people invented stuff that we see, use, and play with every day. Even though they might not be iconic things we use in our everyday life, they still make an impact in our world. Some examples of this are Alexander Miles, who invented the automatic elevator doors because he was concerned for the safety of normal elevator doors. Frederick McKinley Jones invented the refrigerator after talking to a truck driver who lost his entire cargo of chicken when he couldn't make it to his destination in time before the ice melted. Garrett Morgan created the traffic light after witnessing a crash between a car and a buggy. Lonnie Johnson, once an engineer at NASA, created the water blast that we all know today, the Super Soaker. Even though it wasn't as iconic as the other inventions, he still made hundreds of millions of dollars off of it. Another invention, the automatic lubricating cup, was invented by Elijah McCoy. Elijah was a master mechanic and engineer who wanted to improve efficiency and eliminate the frequent stopping of trains. This would lubricate trains so they could run properly without having to stop every hour. Though these are just a few inventions, there are many more out there that you might not know of.
It feels like February ended really suddenly.
It is the shortest month after all. You can thank leap years for that.
Hey High Tides, have you ever wondered why we have a leap year? Well, every 4 years we add an extra day to the calendar in the form of February 29th, also known as Leap Day. This adds an additional 24 hours, which is built into the calendar to ensure that it is in line with the Earth's movement around the sun. You see, the modern calendar that we follow contains 365 days, but the actual time it takes for Earth to orbit its star takes roughly 365.2421 days. Originally, the Egyptians came up with the concept of adding a leap day to keep the calendar in sync with the solar year. Later, the Romans adopted this solution by the influence of their dictator at the time, whose name was Julius Caesar, and they became the first to form February 29th as the leap day officially. But there was an issue with his calculations. See, since the solar year is 0.242 days longer than the calendar year, and not an even 0.25, adding a leap year every 4 years actually leaves an annual surplus of roughly 11 minutes. This discrepancy meant that the Julian calendar drifted off course by 1 day every 128 years, and by the 14th century, it had strayed 10 days off the solar year. To fix the glitch, Pope Gregory instituted a revised Gregorian calendar in 1582 and decided to omit leap years 3 times every 400 years. The result would shorten the calendar once in a while and rid of the annual excess of 11 minutes and 14 seconds. So in order to rule that a leap year occurs every 4 years, a new rule was added, which was that a century year wouldn't be considered a leap year unless it is evenly divisible by 400. This rule manages to eliminate 3 leap years every few hundred years. This year, 2019, isn't a leap year. The last leap year was 2016, so the next will be 2020. The history behind a leap day or year is complicated, complex, and truly strange.
It's wild how an extra day can make a month feel so much longer.
Well, time is relative.
It doesn't matter. I don't need time to be dressing.
Well, High Tides, here's to addressing more news in March. Have a great weekend.